What's up everyone, it's Ashni. For today's video, I asked you all for your best advice on Twitter, at ashnichrist, if you ever want to hang out with me over there, by the way, and you delivered. So this is going to be a combination of my best stuff and your best stuff. Let's get started. We got 10 minutes. My first piece of advice is choose your niche. Figure out who you want to speak to. Whenever you try to appeal to everyone, you appeal to no one, so find a group of people to hang out with. After you've chosen your niche, research the top people in that space. What tweets are really working out well for them? Next is speak with authority, even if you think you have none. The best tweets are always tweets that come from a position of strength and confidence. And if you can speak on behalf of a large group of people and say something that's relatable, it's going to be way more likely that your tweet will take off. The next one is one of my favorites, and it is mix up your media types. Use video, GIFs, photos, just text, and the algorithm will reward you because specific people like specific things. Make sure you think about your brand with this next one because this is not going to work for everyone, but consider using shock value. Trouble Truck has gotten a ton of love for posting pictures of his butt. Next is find ways to shitpost. Harley, why? Definitely need another tip here, which is know your audience. Not every audience is super interested in shitposting. Next tip's respond to everyone. The algorithm loves whenever you respond to other people, and sometimes just responses will show up in someone else's timeline. You can kind of gamify this system by responding to people that you think are going to resonate with your content. Next one comes from Roberto Blake. Big shout out here because this dude is one of my biggest mentors. He is a genius. Now he says, use Twitter as a listening platform. Ask questions, get to know people, and use it to keep your finger on the pulse of the niche that you chose. Set your Twitter up so that it looks reputable. So have a really good bio section, have a good profile banner, a good photo, a photo of you smiling that shows the whites of your eyes. Next is to prioritize interaction. So make sure that for as long as possible you respond to everyone who responds to you, and if those numbers are manageable right now because you have a smaller Twitter account, you should be responding to every single person. Next one is to bring something unique to the table. Now you chose your niche already, hopefully, but don't just copy what everyone else does. So form unique opinions and look at things from a different perspective, share those perspectives, and grow. Next one comes from the Mike James, who is taking his own advice by responding to my thread, which is respond to threads. Next one is from our Twitter anarchists, which is stop worrying about it and just tweet your own energy. Let's go a little deeper on this one and say find an energy level that is manageable for you long term. Next is don't sit around and wait for people to discover you. Next is post valuable tweets. Don't just retweet other people's content or tweet out, hey, I'm live on Twitch, or here's my new YouTube video. Create tweets just for Twitter that express opinions that you've probably said 100 times in other places, but people don't know that if they haven't consumed stuff from you yet. Next is be open and honest. Instead of faking who you are or shouting from the rooftops all of these opinions that are just popular opinions, don't be afraid to actually be yourself and share that truth with people. But also, know when honesty is detrimental to your growth. Next is have meaty responses. How many times have you messaged someone and all they say is thank you or hi? It feels like you just tried a lot and they're not really that interested in engaging. Speaking of conversations, have meaningful conversations. Don't just say, hi, it rained today. It really did. It was really nice. Be helpful, educate people, or make them laugh. Create tweets that are actually useful in some way to the people that you are trying to target. But don't just wait around for those meaningful conversations. Don't wait for engagement. Engage with others. Take every follower and interaction seriously for as long as you can. Whenever you start getting stressed out at the amount of things that you need to respond to, it's time for you to not respond to everything anymore, which sucks, but it happens. Next is don't retweet too much or it will obscure your own content. How many times have you gone to a Twitter account and it's just straight up meme retweets? But if you want to be a successful content creator or business owner or streamer, your first priority should be expressing your brand. Next one is respond to viral tweets. Essentially what you do is you look at viral tweets, check out the comments, see if anyone is saying anything interesting or if you have a unique take or something funny to add to it, and just respond. My next tip to kind of bounce off of that one is to create the viral tweets yourself. The way that this has worked for me, any tweet that I've had that's gone viral, it's always been because it's relatable to a large group of people. This one comes from Real Badash, who says, save time by drafting more tweets. I've probably got 30 or 40 that I can throw out into the world anytime that I feel like I've been a little inactive. You can also use a social media scheduling platform if creating all these tweets is starting to deplete your energy. I like to use Later. I'll use a link for that down below. Next one comes from Jay Hairston, who is the director of social media for the Dallas Fuel and Envy, and he says, use worthwhile giveaways. Giveaways are a point of contention for a lot of people. They've always worked really well for me as long as you understand what giveaways are there to actually do. Next tip is don't beg for follows or retweets. Have you ever seen someone say, hey, make sure that you retweet this. Hey, follow me, follow me. It's like the follow for follow stuff, y'all, is a big turnoff to a lot of people. Take nothing personally. Twitter is a tool. Use it. Don't let it use you. Stop comparing yourself to other people on Twitter. Stop looking at everyone else's responses of love and saying, I don't get that much love. Stop getting angry at other people's success and stop spending so much time scrolling whenever you could be working on content that's gonna help lots more people. Since we're on the subject of not being used by social media, I want to take a second to say take breaks to reset your mind. Next is to keep your finger on the pulse of the community you are part of and fill in the blanks. If you see people aren't being educated on a specific topic and you could educate them on it, do it. If you see that people could laugh about something and they're not laughing about it, make them laugh about it. Next one is to ask questions. Ask a single question in a tweet. Responses will come to you. You will be very surprised. Next tip is use tons of hashtags. Throw hashtags all over every single tweet. For sure. I'm definitely being sarcastic here. I am an advocate for the no hashtag club. However, a lot of social media managers and stats and research do prove that 2 to 3 is relatively okay. So think about news and how quickly news circulates on Twitter. A lot of times, Twitter gets to the news before the actual news stations do. So think about how you can use that to your advantage. Can you come in with your own hot take really quickly? Can you be the first to break the new news? My next tip is to understand that it takes a lot of time, especially in the beginning. All content, you really want to work at it for a few months to a year until it starts to get any traction at all. My next tip is that tweets get most of their engagement in the first 3 hours, so make sure that you post whenever your audience is most likely to be online. You can check out your analytics and figure out a time for that. Generally, it's around noon or 5 p.m. your own time. Next is to use @ to make positive callouts, but don't do it too much. Tagging people is really good, but spamming them is really bad. Next is make connections with people in your industry. Think of potential sponsors, content managers, business managers, other influential people that you think that you might resonate with. This one is show multiple sides of yourself. So instead of just creating tweets for engagement, also don't be afraid to show your personal life too. Next piece of advice is from Stacy, and I really like this one. In an era of cancel culture, I find this to be fascinating, and this is own your backlash. Let me piggyback off of this one, take it a little deeper, and tell you that hate mobs will probably come for you if you get to a certain level. It just tends to happen. Be prepared, understand you're not perfect, you might make a mistake. It's okay when you do, but learn how to overcome that mistake. Instead of leaving a link to your YouTube videos or to any video content that you're trying to direct people to, instead download the video and natively upload it to Twitter. It's way better for the algorithm, and the video automatically plays in the Twitter app or on the browser so that people immediately get a sense of what the value is in the content. Make everything immediately consumable. Now, I wouldn't have known that this was doing so heckin' well if I didn't pay attention to my analytics, so make sure that you're watching them. Next is have a sexy profile picture. Yeah, girl. And our last one is tweet as much as you want, but make sure that each tweet is helpful in some way for people. Oh, we did it! I don't actually know how long that took, but hopefully that was right. If not, we're gonna edit it to be right. Yeah! Make sure that you subscribe because there's more Twitter videos coming. I know y'all are loving these. Also, check out this other one that I made about getting to your first 1,000 followers without scamming or using like nasty follow-unfollow stuff. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye!